So hey there, and welcome to the newest episode. So today, a little bit of nutritional advice I thought I'd share, and regarding my weight loss. Again, dropped about 180 pounds, and I'm often asked how I did it and why I did it. Why I did it, that's personal for another video that I will share, but how I did it, that's pretty much what I'd like to talk about here today. I know it's kind of a controversial topic. A lot of people might not necessarily believe in this, but how I did it, how it worked for me was switching my diet to a largely organic diet. I'd say a good 90% of what I eat is organic food. Now, I know a lot of people might say, hey, you can do it without eating organic, and that might be true, but for me, that's how I did it. When you go organic, you're largely avoiding artificial flavors, natural flavors. You're avoiding preservatives. You're avoiding pesticides and antibiotics and hormones, and all of that stuff has been linked to waist size and weight gain. When you look at it, statistics actually show that the states across the nation that consume the most amount of antibiotics from their meat and dairy are also the unhealthiest states. So, it's by no surprise, that when they're raising livestock, they feed these animals things to make them gain weight, because it's a business. The heavier the cow, the heavier the meat, the more money they're gonna make on it. So they'll pump chicken full of saline solution to increase the weight, which is another thing that you can avoid by going organic. Now when you look at it, people between the ages of, I think it's like 30 and like 60, the number one source of salt in their diet comes from chicken. If you're eating non-organic chicken, you can guarantee that it's pumped full of saline solution and a lot of salt, which will cause weight gain. Even though I know a lot of people think chicken, what's healthier and leaner than that. If you're not buying organic, it's honestly might not be the best option for you. And don't be surprised if you see a little bit of water retention on the scale the next day after eating non-organic chicken. And the same could be said for beef. Beef, they pump it full of hormones and full of antibiotics because they want it to grow. And when you ingest those hormones, what's going to happen to yourself? Naturally you're going to grow. You're going to gain weight too as well. Not only that, but the cows that they're raising here, they're pumped full of antibiotics. 80% of the antibiotics that are consumed in the United States go to livestock. And it's not surprising when you think about it. Why is that? Why do they need all these antibiotics for these cows? It's because they're all sickly and unhealthy. When you're not buying grass-fed, pasture-raised, organic, meat products, you're really getting food from something that they need to pump full of antibiotics to keep it from becoming ill because of the conditions that it's living in. So it's just kind of an unhealthy way to go in general, regardless of whether you're cutting calories or not. If you're cutting calories and you don't see the weight dropping on the scale, that might be one of the things you want to look at. If you're buying non-organic food that has preservatives in it, that has pesticides sprayed on it, you might want to consider a change there. I know a lot of people say, go no carb, but I'm telling you from my personal experience, carbs aren't the enemy. It's the pesticides that they treat the products with. It's what they spray the food with. It's all neurotoxins and heavy metals that they spray our food with. Because the bottom line is, I know a lot of people say personal accountability, and I do believe in that. But at the same time, the food industry is very corrupt. It's terrible what they do. If they can make a dime by selling you something that will not only shorten your life, but will make you sick, then God help us, they're not only going to do it, they're going to hire an entire university to figure out just how they can do it at the cheapest cost for the highest price. They don't give a damn about us. They do not give a damn about us. To Nestle and Tyson and ConAgra, we're nothing but a tool that they can use to manipulate to make as much money as they can. And as long as you can't prove that they're making us sick, they will go ahead and do whatever they can to make that dollar. And they've got dollars invested in with places like the USDA and the FDA that are there to make sure that there are watchdogs, basically. They're bought and sold. It's all a corrupt system. So if you can, buy organic, buy locally grown, read your nutrition labels. That is the number one thing. That's honestly how I avoid a lot of food cravings. Is if I am food craving something, I'll grab the packet and I'll read the nutrition label and I'll take a look at how many calories it's got, how much protein it has, and then the most important thing above the calories and everything else is the other ingredients list. If it's got a bunch of chemicals in it, if it's got a bunch of dyes in it, if it's got preservatives in it, then it's not good for you. They're not putting that stuff in there for your health. They're not putting that stuff in there to increase the quality of the food. They're only putting it in there so that they can give it a longer shelf life, so they can make more money off of it, to the detriment of our own health, because they don't care. So, read your nutrition labels. Oh, and one other thing that I was going to mention here in this video is gluten. I know a lot of people preach gluten-free and say, you go gluten-free and you'll lose a lot of weight. And that might be true. You go gluten-free, you'll probably cut your carbs or cut your calories, and you probably will lose some weight. But at the same time, they've done all kinds of studies to show that people who actually think that they have a gluten intolerance actually do not. I mean, they've given people who claim a gluten intolerance placebos and have proven that it's not the gluten in today's diet that is causing Americans to gain weight. The truth of it is, it's common practice for the wheat industry to, right after the harvest, they take the entire crop and they douse it with Roundup. They just douse it with Roundup to preserve it, to keep, they're treating it with pesticides, so to make sure that it could make the journey from wherever it's got to go from point A to point B. And other countries, they don't have that same kind of practice, and they also don't have the same gluten intolerance that we do. And I'm telling you, it's not the gluten that's making everybody sick. It's the Roundup. It's the chemicals, obviously. Just some thoughts out here today. I wish I had time to organize this a little bit better and put it out there for you. But the truth is, oh man, I'm going tonight for my third night of graveyards, and so I kind of woke up this morning. I got home this morning, worked out, wanted to shoot the video this morning, but man, I just needed to go to bed. So right now I'm about 2 hours out from my shift, and I'll be going in there soon for another night, and then coming home in the morning to do. Let's see, what is it today? It's leg day. Yeah, leg day. So, well, thank you all so much for watching this video. I do appreciate it. Hope you found something in here that will help you. And if you have any questions, just let me know. You can comment or what have you. I appreciate all subscriptions, and more than anything, I appreciate you guys watching. So take care and have a good night.